It's full analog mixing night. Ken is joined live in studio by Mark Abrams from Puremix, doing an analog mix using the Wolf Pro Patch to access tonight's gear, including BetterMaker 2.0, Eventide H90, Distressors, Clariphonic, 1176, Lang EQ, GML, EMI compressors, and more. Tonight we have a Mix Bus Compressor Shootout, an 1176 analog versus digital head-to-head. Marcus Manderson shows you how to get the best free plugins. We show off Cincinnati's Green Room Records and talk about Ken's work with Anushka Sen and the Canton Bluecoats. We're giving away 3 copies of the new Rumble bass synth from UVI and 2 subscriptions to Session Studio. You must be live to enter, not to win. Fire up your studio, jump on the chat roll. It's Mixing Night. Welcome to Mixing Night. I'm your host, Ken Lewis, here with my frenemy, Mark Abrams. I will let Mark tell you about himself in a minute. All you need to know about me is that I make records. Mazzy is here, but she's not in the control room right now. She hasn't been feeling well. She's kind of been bouncing back well, but recently she's had some pancreatitis and she's been a little sicky, but she's stronger every day and she keeps walking me. And if hopefully they're showing you on the screen, I've started posting on my social media stories on Instagram at Ken Lewis Producer. I've started regularly posting stories of Mazzy's end of walk celebrations, which are so cute. Mazzy's 13 and she's definitely slowing down a little bit, but she still walks me every day and she's such a good girl. And her celebration, that's what she does every time she comes back from a walk. That's her, like, it's the cutest thing. So tonight we're doing a full analog mix. Mark and I have a feast of analog goodies for you. The Wolf Pro Patch is our centerpiece on the analog outboard. That's that orange piece back in the back. Tonight we have a Mix Bus Compressor Shootout. We have a shootout between analog and digital 1176s. We're using a ton of outboard gear from BetterMaker, Kush, GML, EMI, BAX, all of the letters and numbers. We got them all tonight. Jump on the chat roll. Ask me and Mark questions. We got people harvesting them live. I don't have my iPad in front of me, but we'll get that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, tonight both of my top guys have started their own studios in Cincinnati. Jonathan Garcia opened Gold Box Studios and Nolan Monagold opened Green Room. And tonight we have an exclusive trailer for their Green Room Records docuseries, which premieres tonight right after our show. And I think you can have a link to the docuseries in the description if you want to check it out. Very cool. Tonight we are live giving away 3 copies of my favorite bass synth, this thing called Rumble from UVI. I love UVI's creative stuff, especially Toy Suite. Have you used any of the UVI stuff?
Yes. Yeah, not those though.
Any favorite? Oh, you got to check out Toy Suite. It's a monster. Oh, Toy Suite is like samples of all of the like kids' toys.
Yeah.
But it's totally playable, and I've used it so many times. And we're also giving away 2 subscriptions for Session Studio, which is what I use to organize my own songwriting and production sessions. Awesome all-in-one software, and actually I was just songwriting last week. Speaking of last week, Mark, first off, before we get into last week, Mark Abrams, please reintroduce yourself to our awesome Mixing Night community, and then let's talk about Anushka Sen and the Canton Bluecoats.
Yeah. My name's Mark Abrams, and I'm a mixing engineer from Columbus, Ohio, and producer and all that fun stuff, and also the content manager at Puremix.net. Which brings us to talking about last week.
Oh, man.
I'm excited. I can say this. Ken Lewis is coming to Puremix. On him forever, and we finally did it.
We finally did it. We finally found something that lined up for everybody. Yeah, so the Canton Bluecoats drum corps. Oh my God, wait till you hear this phenomenal batch of musicians. They're incredible. So for those that don't know, a drum corps is kind of like a professional marching band, and the Bluecoats are one of the premier drum corps in the entire world. We didn't use the entire corps. The entire corps is like 150 people. We used, I think, about 100. I think it was 76 brass and 24 drumline. It was insane.
I've never heard a sound like that when I first walked in the stadium and just heard the brass perfectly in tune with that many players.
I know, right? It was like you don't get that unless you're at an orchestra, and orchestras don't have that big of brass sections.
Right.
It was the most insane thing I'd ever heard. And usually, like, I'm super protective of my hearing at all times, but and I knew they had to be pushing about 105, 110 dB when I was kind of in front of them with like all 70-some brass clustered, but I was like, when again in my entire life am I going to get this experience to have a brass section of this caliber playing perfectly in tune, playing mine and Danny Flam's arrangement back at me for Anushka? I was just like in heaven.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was wild. That was wild.
Yeah.
You should tell them about the song. Came together. Yeah.
So we'll show you a little teaser for what's coming up with the Puremix thing. But Mark brought 3 Puremix cameras and documented the whole experience. And it's going to be Anushka Sen, who's my artist partner. And you can check out her current single, Owl and the Bee, which is out now. We're going to be working on that tonight as well. But Anushka's 4th single is this song that she and I wrote together called, the working title is called Pivot Year. And when Nushi and I wrote Pivot Year, I got these kind of tinglies on my arm because I had seen the Canton Bluecoats in Mason, Ohio, right a half hour from here, 2 years ago. And Nolan actually took me, and Nolan was like, "You've got to see the Bluecoats." And I was like, "Why are you so amped about this?" "Okay, I'll go." And then I was like, "Oh, that's why. Oh my God. Oh my. Oh, they were so mind-blowingly incredible." So
Nolan has some history there too.
Nolan's dad was a Bluecoat in 1987. Yeah. So this has been like a really like top tier drum corps for decades. I mean, they are exceptional by any measure. And so we spent the entire day. We spent the morning doing brass, the afternoon doing percussion. You documented it for Puremix and Loughton. We did some documentation of our own. We're going to play you just a little teaser that we put together later in the show that kind of gives you a taste of who the Bluecoats are. But oh my God.
The audio thing for everybody about that.
What's that?
Completely unexpected going into it. Was talking to the audio front of house person there, and their whole rig is this massive Dante system. They have those, I think, L-acoustics, the liner APAs. They have stacks of those placed around the field, almost doing like Atmos effects, through directional sound effects and everything. And then the show designer was originally from Cirque du Soleil, which is crazy. So it's like that's the level of production that was going into the Bluecoats show, and it's just unbelievable. Yeah.
You can't, I mean, we could sit here and describe it for a half an hour, but until you can actually experience the whole thing live with the entire Bluecoats, it's just, if they ever come anywhere close to you, if you ever hear about this CGI drum corps competition, go. It's so cool.
DCI.
DCI. Did I say CGI? It's all fake.
It's all fake.
They've all been replaced on the field. We should we do the sprint mix or should we skip it? It's up to you. What do you? Oh, can I get the chat back up on the screen? And say hello to our awesome mixing night community. Yeah, we have a lot of gear. I think we're going to skip the sprint mix and go straight to the gear. And if we run into gear problems later on, I'll force Mark to do the sprint mix in the middle of the show. That'll be our time saver. So, what is okay? So if we're not going to do the sprint mix, I still want to talk a little bit more about like you and Puremix and the experience of having you guys there. For me, I don't know if you guys know in Viewerland, but I've been working with Anushka Sen, who is a very well-known Indian actress. Hopefully soon to be very well-known Indian musical artist. We have 2 singles out right now. Third single's done, 4 singles is Pivot Year. Yeah. And we have like 8 more songs recorded that I just have to finish production on. And we have bangers. That girl is so talented. It is ridiculous. So, yeah, when we did Pivot Year, I was like, okay, who can match this? And, Bluecoats. Right. So, yeah, it was, yeah, that was pretty nutty. Are you? So Danny Flam, who I have worked with, the very first thing I ever did with Danny Flam was All of the Lights for Kanye West. So I produced the entire brass section for All of the Lights. That's my production and Danny Flam's playing. Danny showed up to the house with 28 horns. I shit you not, 28 horns. And he could play every single one of them. And we spent like a very long day putting down the basics of the arrangement and then coming up with like counter melodies and harmony stacks and things like that, all with horns. And it was a whole thing. I didn't hear anything from Kanye or his camp for like 3 months after I sent it. And I just figured in Kanye land, that means they didn't take it. And then 3 months later, they called me for something else on Twisted Fantasy, and I was like, "Hey, whatever happened to that horn section for All of the Lights?" And they were like, "Oh no, it was great, no changes." And no, it's almost never no changes in Kanye land, so that was amazing. But then when I got the chance to do the Canton Bluecoats, I immediately called Danny Flam, and I was like, "Danny, I need you to chart the horns for this. I need you to arrange the horns with me." Because I had already done a horn arrangement, but it wasn't like for the Bluecoats. So I needed him to adapt my very simpleton musical horn arrangement into something that really could allow the Bluecoats to shine, which he totally did. He's a rock star. And he flew out for it, honestly.
That was super cool.
And yeah, he flew out that morning and flew back that night to Cleveland from New York City, and he had a gig the night before. He's a beast, man. Danny Flam. So, if you guys didn't know, you guys can hire Danny Flam to play on your record. Yes, you can. I think his thing is New York Brass, and I think his email is info@New York Brass. And you can just reach out to him and ask him for a quote and, send him a song and be like, what would it cost me to get this style of horn section on this? Danny can do anything. He's brilliant. I used him on the Taj Farrant album. On so many records, so many Kanye records over the years, man. He's
I'm working on song right now that I was wishing the horns were real on.
Dude, call him. Danny's a beast. I mean, literally, when I say he showed up with 28 horns, like 4 of those were trombones. But they were all different trombones.
Right.
So we didn't like play one trombone and stack it 4 times. We had one trombone part, and we had 4 different trombones play it as if there were 4 different players playing it. And that makes, like, pay attention, producers. There is a mountain of difference between taking, say, a trumpet or a trombone or a violin or a viola or something like that, and double tracking it, triple, quadruple tracking it, and then stacking harmonies all with the same instrument. It's going to sound very chorusy and very small. It still could sound cool. If that's all you got, do it. I've done some really dope string arrangements with like one cello. I shit you not. But any time that you can get multiple instruments playing the same parts, like Danny having 4, I think we had 3 trumpets and a bass trumpet and a flugelhorn. Wow. And like a sousaphone and a tuba and a French horn and something that looked like a French horn but wasn't a French horn, and like all these things that he didn't even have names for. And I was like, what are you gonna do with that? And he's like, well, let me show you what it sounds like. You know, like, okay, what if we do, like, well, let's try something. And it was just a fun day of like trying ideas. We tried so many more ideas on all of the lights than we ended up using. Like, I just spent the first day with him, then I sent him away, and then I spent the next 2 days just organizing and choosing and cleaning up and eliminating and getting down to what the final what I turned into Kanye sounds exactly like the horn arrangement on the record. It's just like they pushed up the faders and was like done. So
that was one of the fun things for me
about watching you work on the Bluecoats session was just how many passes that you did of everything. I mean, everybody
worked their
butts off that day.
They did.
It wasn't just like a
play the track down for me once. You know?
Yeah, no. I'm a big believer in. So, and I do this for vocal production and I do this for choir production, where I'll take a lot of takes and I will instill the belief in the performer or performers that, look, you're going to have a lot of takes of this. If you botch a take, well, you got like 6 more, baby. I mean, just clean it up and, you know, fine tune it on the next one. And if you miss that one, you've got another one and another and another. So when you make a mistake, forget it and let it go. And it's the same with like lead vocalists. I tell lead vocalists, I'm going to give you a lot of takes today. It's not you, it's me. I want to be able to pull things out of you that you didn't know you had. And in order to do that, I need to get you in a comfort zone where you're willing to make mistakes without ramification and without caring. And when a vocalist gets to the point where they actually realize, oh, there's only 2 kinds of vocals. There's the rare instance where a line that I sing is going to make the comp. And then there's everything else that I sing that's not going to make the comp. So if I make a mistake while I'm singing, I'm just going to let that mistake go, and I'm going to look forward, and I'm going to attack the next lines coming up. And you see it so many times with vocalists who don't have this mentality. The moment they make a mistake, they are shut down. They're thinking about that line 3 lines now, 4 lines now, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines ago, and they're still thinking about it, and their vocal performance has dissolved. You might as well have stopped after that. Not when I produce. They just, and it's the same with the Bluecoats, and I do the same thing with the choirs. I loop a section, so I'll take like the chorus, say chorus 2, and I'll take from a bar before chorus 2 to a bar after chorus 2, and I'll copy paste the 2-track. And by the way, I don't think our chat roll is moving unless nobody is here.
The countdown begins.
So
is the last thing we see.
What was I saying? Fuck. What was I just saying?
You're talking about takes.
Oh yeah. So I do copy paste, and I'll just paste the 2 tracks so they have a 2-bar reset between every time they have to perform. There's the chat roll. Hello, people. They have a 2-bar reset every time they have to perform the same part again. They know they can focus only on that one part. It's probably no more than 8 bars, maybe 12 or 16 at most. These are all professional players. And they get to, and in between, I can coach them. So in that 2-bar reset, as it comes back around, I can be like, you know, I need more from you. Like, this time, give it to me louder. You know, this time, a bigger crescendo, really from super quiet to super loud. And then I'll shut the fuck up, and they'll do it on the next take, and it'll be magic. Yeah. So you can really produce on the fly this way. And I do choirs the exact same way. I'll loop sections, and I'll have the choir sing down the chorus like 5 times in a row. Yeah. And then the verse like 5 times in a row. And as long as they're dialed in, that's enough. But if they're not dialed in, then I can coach them, and we can reset, and we can take another series of takes. Yeah. And I just have a sensibility of like when I know I've got enough takes that I know I have it. And for me, it's all about the connectivity of the performance. I've got to fucking believe that the players believe what they're playing and the singers believe what they're singing.
Do you comp on the fly ever in vocal session stuff, or do you wait for later?
Never during the vocal session. Yeah. once like I know I've gotten all of my takes, sometimes I'll ask the vocalist if they want to stick around for the comps.
Right.
And usually they'll just sit and look over my shoulder and see what I'm doing. Sometimes they'll be more active participants and like, I like that one. That one's not really connecting with me, but we'll go through. But if I take 20 lead vocal takes on average from section to section, I listen to every syllable of every line of every take, and I find the best little gems that I possibly can, and I put the whole thing together like a puzzle, and by the end it sounds like the one single time the vocalist sang it the best in their entire life. Yeah. And then they can learn how they did that so that they can perform it live and on their socials exactly how the comp sounds. So there's it's kind of
that's awesome. How about take notes?
Do you do take notes while
You're going?
No, I try and keep myself in the moment, and I don't like doing any like futzing with the screen or the keyboard or the electronics. As little as possible, as much as I can keep the session flow going, and all of the attention and focus on the vocalist and none of it on me. Right. The best, when you're in recording mode, certainly the best engineer is the invisible one. Mm-hmm. When you start drawing attention to yourself, usually something is wrong. And often, same with, the best producer, I think, is the one that puts the artist in the best zone. And if you can see, where the chat roll is right now, if they can show the back camera. So where the chat roll is, that's usually where I put lyrics up on the wall. And where this wide atom is to the right of the white Dutch and Dutch, we remove that speaker and we put the vocal mic, the C800, right there. And we project the lyrics right in front of them. Yeah. So they don't have to be standing there with a phone trying to perform and get the take of their life while their arm has been extended for 20 minutes. Right. And, and their eyes are squinting and they've got to read the whole time. Exactly. Yeah. And if it's up there, we can make it as big as we need for them to see it. We can put only the section that we're working on. And they don't have to hold anything, and they can just be lost in the moment. Yeah. And every single thing,
wherever you put them.
Exactly. This is a lot of times when I'm cutting vocals, I put them in environments like this because it just gets them out of their head. It's just like it's a good way to just like lose yourself in the performance. And and I always try and tell the vocalist before we take a take, like, just remember why you wrote this song and what it means to you, and sing about that. And don't worry about pitch and rhythm and notes, but all of that is complete bullshit. You need to figure out how to make the listener believe that you believe it. So put yourself in the same feeling and emotion that you had when you wrote it, and then give me a performance, come what may. Mistakes and all. I want the mistakes. If you're not giving me mistakes, you're not going for it. Right. I want you to be so free that there's a significant amount of mistakes, because I know I'm going to get 1 or 2 or 4 absolute gem lines out of that take. Because most of the best stuff you've ever heard on records was the stuff that just happened in the moment. Mm-hmm. There's something about so many records that you hear that wasn't written, that wasn't scripted, that just happened during a take, that only happened. There are so many songs I produced that something happened only one time ever, and it was the most special part of the record, and you're just like, oh, fuck. And if they didn't have the freedom to have multiple takes and make mistakes and go for ideas in the moment just because they want to, without like judgment and ramifications if it doesn't go well, like, that's just a superpower. But this shit is really time consuming. So I don't, like, people don't just hire me to just like be an hourly, hey, record my vocals for me. If I'm producing, it's like, I don't care where the finish line is. Right. Whatever I have to do to make the best fucking record I can possibly make is what we're doing. Yeah. So doesn't matter who the artist is.
That's awesome.
It'll be cool for everybody to see.
That, I think, like, to see you actually producing that brass section live.
Oh my god!
So rad. Because of all, I got to speak into the microphone.
Is that what that thing is for?
Hey,
hi
hello,
now.
microphone. Am I too loud now? It'll be awesome for people to see, though, like you actually in the moment, the feedback that you give the director of the brass section and the drum line as well. They were incredible. Just how much detail went into each one of those performances and how you would separate, even in the drums, like when you were just separating out snares, just separating out kicks. I mean, a lot of people would go into that session and just say, like, I have the Bluecoats. All right, guys, play it down maybe 3 times. Yeah, I think that's good. Cool, thanks. You know, but I mean, it was a full day of work, and they crushed it, and you crushed it. It was just amazing to watch. So yeah,
that was, and especially when you have musicians that are that talented and you can shape their performance in real time, so they can take what's written and modify it per instructions. Like one of the times during the horn section, there was, I think it was like the verses that go like bum bum dun, dun, and the swell up. They weren't doing the swell. They were like bum bum dun, dun. And I was like, hey, why don't we swell that note? And then they tried it and it was good, but it wasn't great. And it was like we just kept working back and forth, and then they locked in, and then we got like 6 takes in a row, and that section was done.
Yeah.
And just the ability to shape, like I'm sure like the orchestral composers have the same problem. You don't really know what you have until the orchestra is playing it in front of you.
Right.
And you're like, oh my God, that's what that sounds like. Oh, okay, so we need to, like, this isn't big enough, or this is too busy, or man, I really need the tubas to come in here and give me like major bass support. And so a lot of those things were made on the fly. Same with like the drum line. Anushka is a fantastic dancer. She's incredible. So I wanted to do a drum breakdown. I didn't really have one. So I wanted to kind of do one live with the Bluecoats. So I'm really good at kind of hearing drum parts in my head. So I just had them playing parts and then moving, syncopating things around, shifting notes by 16ths and 8ths until it felt like the whole group felt like what I was hearing in my head.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it. All right, let's record it.
Yeah, the rest of us do that by moving MIDI notes around, and Ken was out there with like 100 players, just being like, let's put the 8th and another one down. It's pretty fun to watch in real time.
That's a lot of fun for me, especially when I have musicians who can keep up.
Yeah.
Because that's like, I can't play drums. I can't play a 4/4 beat behind the drum kit to save my life. I look terrible. I sound terrible, but I can hear every drumstick of a drummer's performance and be able to tell them, nope, this bar, this beat, this hand, I shift that. Okay, now do that. And so I think a lot of that came from producing bands coming up.
Right.
Because I would do that with those drummers. And I never thought like a drummer. I just thought like a guy who makes records, and I needed those drums to work with the song.
Right. Guitar's accent here. I need the drum accent.
Exactly. Listen to the fucking bass.
Like, why?
Why? Hey, our chat roll is popping. Right Sound Studios. We got Mitko 753, Ben Kruger, Ben Ellery, all of the Bens.
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh yes, Jimi Hendrix. Gotta love him. Josh Gannett, what's up, Josh? Got all the heavies showing up tonight. LaGille, all the heavies showing up tonight. Man, do you guys know like who frequents this freaking chat roll? This is crazy. Yeah. There's my table. By the way, Bluecoats.
Forgot my shirt.
Yeah. Who else we got? Mr. Mike. So yeah, feel free to. Can somebody get the iPad and fire up?
Line left. Keep going line left.
Hey! Somebody did bring it in. Do you want to take some Q&A? Then I guess we should start mixing some analog.
Yeah. I just answered for the crew.
Josh asks, hey Ken and Mark, do you have an analog engineer service you use? You mean a repair service? Use, or is it a fix as problems pop up, and is it a struggle to find someone to work on it? Finding people to repair gear is crazy. Although is it Cole Taylor?
Yeah.
In Columbus. He's fixing my Vari-Mu for me right now. And Rick Carson at Make Believe Studio and Ryan Harvey, I think they just took on a tech. And I would trust them with anything.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, Cole is I think he goes by Synth Taylor on Instagram, and he's like my recent favorite find ever. He just fixed a Moog EQ4 for me, and it came back beautifully, and it was in complete disrepair. Like it was actually on a Puremix shoot, and Andrew Dawson had it in his garage, and it was just like sitting on a toolbox. And I was like, "What's the story with this?" He's like, "It doesn't work." I was like, "Sell it?" And then I took it to Cole, and he got it working perfectly, and it's like back to great shape. So Synth Taylor, he is a wizard with synths as well, obviously from the name, but he fixes it. And he literally lives like 3 minutes from my.
Well, that's great. Maybe you can pick up my Vari-Mu when it.
Yeah. If I knew he had it, I would have brought it down.
Well, I don't think he fixed it and shipped it back, and then it got damaged in shipping.
Oh my god!
And our last analog mixing night, we got it back that day, and we put it in the rack, and we ran signal through it, and we were like, "This ain't right."
Yeah.
So it needed a fairly major repair after that again, which kind of sucked, but
it's hard to find good people.
Yeah, that definitely is. Mitko753 asks, hey, Ken and Mark, can you share some advice on mixing 2 tracks? I appreciate it. My first advice would be to check out Help Me Devon's plugin series. He has a plugin called 2-Track Surgeon, and I believe that 2-Track Surgeon is specifically made for this type of a role. And I really like a lot of the other Help Me Devon plugins. I haven't tried 2-Track Surgeon yet because I don't mix many 2-tracks. But if he did it, I'm guessing it's really good. He's a really good engineer and producer. In fact, do you know Devon?
I don't. I know of him.
Okay, so Devon Terrell. So Devon Terrell is a signed artist to my sync agency, Magnetic Music. He is a dope fucking artist. So if you guys want to check out, if you haven't discovered him yet, if you want a great like urban pop vocalist who writes great songs, check out Devon Terrell. Help Me Devon. He's really a fantastic artist and makes super dope plugins. So there you go for plugins. Now we got some new people on the chat. Aster Queen, what's going on? Wednesday. Hey, Wednesday. Josh S. Demon Drum. Who do we got? Lagiel, what have you been up to lately, Lagiel? Ammon Jackson is on. Music by Ian. Oh, hey. MBI. MBI is in Scotland. Are you up late again, MBI?
It's late there.
Scotland didn't advance in the World Cup, did they? Neither did fucking the United States. That was a horrible game. Bobby Thimgen. Bobby won the Coburn remix contest.
Oh, nice.
Crushed it. Ooh, when I sent that shit to Coburn, she lost her mind. Wow. She could not believe it.
Wow, that's amazing.
She was like, I just listened 7 times. Who is this? What are you? And I was just like, wow. This is normal for us. This is
it's heavy hitters in the chat.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is Torch chimed in. What's up? This is Torch.
Nice.
Wednesday, let Howie know that I just got the plugin yesterday. I haven't had time to use it yet, but I am dying to check it out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, Howie Weinberg.
Hey, Chris Burness. I know Chris.
Hey, Chris. What's up, brother? John Evans is in the chat now. Oh, we got everybody popping.
I love my coffee cup. It says, my ability to even has been severely compromised. I can't even.
Jonathan, since I want to make sure that we get to it, would it be easiest to go straight to Al on the B and do some mix bus compression comparisons? Or have we even worked that out yet?
Oh, we're ready to rock and roll.
Okay. Did you set any levels, or do we just have to plug them in and set them?
You know, that boy Mark was setting and dialing things. They're going to have to double check.
Oh.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure the settings are great. Yeah. Great. I'm being serious. I'm sure the settings are perfect. Yeah.
They are.
Oh, John Evans is JT. What up, JT? JT is our former intern who just graduated and got a job with Garmin out in Kansas City. Congratulations, JT.
Nice.
We miss you on the show. JT was a huge help with Mixing Night Audio and with Mixing Night over the last, how long has it been, JT? It's been a hot minute. You've been great. All right, I'm going to pull up the mix bus.
Bright Sound Studio said, heard that. I might have put the walkie too close to the microphone. Sorry, guys.
Let's see. This is Torch is and signed creative to Magnetic. He is a fire fucking producer.
Nice.
In fact, Torch, I need to send your beats. I assembled a beat folder for a new rapper that we just signed of yours. So just so you're aware, I'm letting you know.
I'd like to start my rap career.
I'm bars into my rap career.
I just
Probably gonna hit you up for a record deal.
I like being the behind the scenes guy. Let's see. IATM365 asks, hey Ken, do you ever incorporate any tape into your workflow? I will be honest with you. If every tape machine ended up at the bottom of the ocean, I would not lose a single night of sleep. I have done a lot of records on tape. A lot. I do not miss it. Tape always changed everything. There's this, I don't know, reminiscence about tape. Man, you start a project and what you record at the beginning is not what you have at the end. By the time you have overdubbed and then mixed and then recalled, and the tapes have sat for weeks, sometimes months, sometimes a year or better, those multi-tracks get noisy, and what you record instantly changes, and then it changes more over time. So I don't miss analog being this format that you never really knew what to expect. And furthermore, the very first time I went direct to digital on a project was, of all artists, David Byrne. David Byrne, if you don't know, is the head talking head. And I recorded and mixed an entire album with him in 1998 called Look Into the Eyeball. And I played on a couple songs as well. That was one of my favorite songs in my career. But we were cutting to tape originally. And the producer was like, it was a really dynamic songs. And the producer was like, it's too noisy. You got to clean that shit up. And he was an engineer. He knew better. Yeah. I was like, bro, it's a fucking dynamic song. We're on a Sony tape machine. The shit's noisy. You know it. Right. He's like, well, we got to do something about it. And I'm like, we've been talking about going direct to digital. Why don't we try it? So we did. We bypassed the tape machine and went right into the old Digidesign 888s.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in my entire career where I could close my eyes and listen during the take and envision and see where all of the performers were. And then as soon as they were done, I could just spacebar, play from the top, and it felt like they were still out there playing. It was exactly what I had dialed in sound-wise. And for me, I want the sounds that I dial in to be captured and preserved.
Yeah.
So for me, digital was a godsend. But I also like the dirt on the way in with analog gear and tubes and things like that. Yeah. So and the plugins are great for dirt.
Yeah. So. Some stuff behind you.
And we have some stuff.
Thing.
We do. The Zulu's a nice dirt generator. The Zulu's like a mixed bus tape emulator. And it's got lo-fi, hi-fi, pro, super mastering, and and it's got all these different curves, and it's just something that kind of simulates tape, but really well. We may play with that later. Let's see. Do you know which Wolf we have to put on for the mix bus shootout?
Jonathan? He showed me.
You know what? 5 and 6 looks pretty good.
5 and 6.
Okay, Wolf, 5 and 6. Let's see what that gets us.
You want to go to the page, and then off the bottom right, you'll bus chain, I believe, or the chain is on bus. Now you can toggle the BetterMaker, the C1, or the Vari-Mu. Just clicking left of the L. So, yeah, right there.
Hopefully they're showing you what I'm doing with the Vari-Mu. If any of you guys have seen a mix bus night, I'm doing the exact same thing with the outboard gear that I do with the plug-in. And I discovered this completely by accident. And I was like so frustrated with my outboard Vari-Mu. I was ready to sell it. It just wasn't doing anything that I was liking. And I was like, okay, before I sell this, I'm going to spend one afternoon and just play with no expectations. And I was just twisting knobs and and then at one point I hit this setting right here and I was like, what is happening right now? I don't understand it. And I even asked Ivana Manley. I described the settings. I was like, Ivana, why does this sound the way that it does? And she's like, I have no idea. Maybe you're distorting the transformer on the way in. So I'm saturating the transformer on the way in, and I'm getting a little bit of transformer compression, which sounds a certain way. But I have a super slow attack, super slow release, like 5 to 7 second release. And then my threshold is all the way down, so I'm getting as much reduction as I can from it. And I'm pushing the input up until I'm getting the needles at about -6. I find that's kind of the sweet spot-ish for the Vari-Mu. With the plugin, it's like between -6 and 8. I like to have it riding, but the slowest release, and it just whatever glue is, that's glue. So like if we go to a section like the verse into the chorus, sometimes it's really hard to balance that out, and like you've got the verse sounding good and you've got the chorus sounding good, but the verse going into the chorus, the levels are all wrong and the everything is in there. Just slap on the Vari-Mu and try this and then listen again, and like 6 times out of 7 you're gonna be like, are you no it's okay, all right, fine. What's that?
I'm extremely intrigued by this. I recently was doing an Atmos project.
And I did not do the stereo, but in the stereo master, it felt like the mastering engineer had done typical mastering things. They chopped up the section, bumped it up the deep on the bridge, and it's like a down chorus thing. So I'm like, oh, okay, they like probably sliced it and did some stuff on it. Come to find out, it was just a slow Vari-Mu compressor. Yeah. So it was releasing, and it brought the section up and all that. Yeah.
It's so, yeah, like I said, it's like when people say glue, I find its ability to even out transitions into and out of sections, like the pre-chorus into the chorus, into the post-chorus, back into the verse, is like if you listen with it off and your levels are just a little bit all over the place and you slap on the Vari-Mu with these settings, for some reason it just, you're basically letting the initial transients through, so it keeps the drums really nice and punchy. But this, I still to this day, I don't know why it works, this incredibly slow release. But I also used to have radio limiters that I bought out of an old radio station that did the same exact thing. And the first time I used the radio limiters, I was like, what is happening? And I bet it was that long release. I had no idea.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I think that's really a key. And I've used other compressors that are like 3 or 4 second release trying to emulate it. No. Something about that just really long release. And then you just make up the gain. It's not the finisher. It's not the volume box. It's the control box and the character box. And then I'll finish with something like a Natural Audio AL1 or, Fab Filter Pro L2 or something like that. And just get like the final squeeze and some oversampling, But let's hear this with
That's such a cool trick. Yeah.
It is. And
He's stealing that one from you.
yeah, you gotta listen to how punchy the drums are. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna dial in each of these 3 compressors. That was the Vari-Mu. I'm just gonna start with the Smart now, and I'm gonna try and get all of them kind of relatively even.
Artists wanna chase the dream. You're fearless, rise and take a leap of faith. This year it's time for you to elevate. Girl, where you are is not where you will be. Dream big with me. Do you wanna be? Are you gonna? Do you wanna be? Are you gonna? Do you wanna be? Do you wanna be? Remember home, embrace the world, and when you fly, go get it, girl. Be anything, be beautiful, become someone incredible. You're still.
So the SSL, I have a totally different approach than the Vari-Mu. The Vari-Mu is a super slow attack. The SSL bus compressor is 10 milliseconds attack. So it's letting just the initial point of the attacks through, and then it's really clamping down much harder, so it's kind of keeping everything more even, but it also, I find the SSL bus compressor pumps a lot more than the Vari-Mu. The Vari-Mu seems to have this evenness to it, and the SSL compressor, if you're not super careful, pumps like mad. But I also find that the auto release on the SSL compressor tends to always be the one that I'm like, I wish it wasn't the auto release, but the auto release always sounds the best. So, but I think it's worth listening to each of those settings. But if I'm on the Vari-Mu, I don't listen to any other settings. It's that setting.
Yeah.
That's the magic. So.
Can we hear the 2 styles? Since you have this wonderful wolf thing.
I know. I want to dial in the last one, which is the BetterMaker. And I don't know how easy, if I can just drag the EMIs in. I don't know if that's a possibility, but I would love to try the EMI compressors.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like Fairchild 660 emulations.
Yeah.
Beast.
Super easy.
Awesome. And I can just do that from the left, I assume, like normal. All right, this is going to be the BetterMaker master. Where is my BetterMaker software? Fuck. Let me just go to the EMIs and EMI 660. EMI 660B. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Jonathan, the voice over the walkie-talkie.
All right, so this is going to be the EMI 660 compressors, which are Fairchild 660 emulators. Do they have the Fairchild tube in them?
That I don't know. I will find out.
I'm guessing if it's EMI, it must be. Because, my Vari-Mu has what's called a T-bar mod. And the T-bar mod for the Vari-Mu gives you Vari-Mu style tubes. I can't remember them offhand. Somebody on the chat roll must know what the Vari-Mu style tubes are. but the T-Bar mod puts those in. But you don't even start getting the Vari-Mu effect from the T-Bar mod until you're at about 6 dB of reduction. So that's why I found like I hit it hard enough to get into that range, and it just sounds so good.
Right Sound Studio's got us. He says
6386. You are exactly correct. Yes.
Go.
All right, let's hear this EMI. I've never used this thing before. I'm super stoked with this.
Out is full and chase your dream. You're fearless, rise and take a leap of faith. This year it's time for you to elevate. Girl, where you are is not where you will be. Dream big with
I
me.
think it's only the left channel.
On the software.
Remember home, embrace the world. And when you fly, go get it, girl. Be anything, be beautiful. Become someone incredible. Your story, open up the right of page. This morning, don't you wait another day. The way you are is right where you should be. Dream big with me. Do you wanna? Do you wanna?
That's interesting. I like the sound of that a lot. I'm going to be super fascinated to ABC these things. Let's see. So let's start with the EMI, and then maybe we'll go to the Vari-Mu after the EMI. Now, with the Wolf Pro Patch, I can set up an AB. I'm not going to do it right now, but it's super simple to set up a very seamless AB. So if I only wanted to switch between like the Smart C1 SSL compressor and the Vari-Mu, I could set up an AB link, and it just is like this, and you can hear the change in real time. It's incredible. But this, just because of the show, we're just going to click them off and on and do our best. But that's kind of one of the superpowers. What's that?
Is it like left channel? And then
I think
right
it's more like that. Whoa, something just happened.
They just replaced
There we go.
it.
Yeah, but I think B, I think, is left, and
Gotcha.
so
Okay.
yeah, unless everything is reversed, I'm not really sure. That might.
You up.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do some listening. So this is going to be the EMI first.
Out is full and chase the dream. You're fearless, rise and take a leap of faith. This year it's time for you to elevate. Girl, where you are is not where you will be. Dream big with me.
Jonathan, is there a way to gang the EMI so it's turn off and onable at the same time? Right now, both EMIs are on the left side.
Yes. Are we about to have a Wolf Pro Patch moment?
We are, but we could go. Let's go to what's our first segment? Let's go to let's go to the Canton Bluecoats. And then that's only like a minute and a half, and immediately after the Bluecoats, let's do Marcus Manderson, and we're going to be back in 5 minutes. I'm driving 4 hours north from Cincinnati, Ohio for a session. In over 30 years, I've never recorded or produced anything like this. 76 horns and 24 drumline. Today, I'm producing the Canton Bluecoats drum corps for a collaboration with Anushka Sen.
I saw the Bluecoats perform live in 2024, and I left that performance vowing to find or write a song that was perfectly suited for them. Anushka and I wrote Pivot Year, and I knew we had it. Anushka is an artistic force. I'm not trying to make regular records with her. We are trying to make iconic records, and the Bluecoats are an iconic drum corps with the talent to back it up. In the coming months, I'll bring you more behind the scenes, and I'll be able to talk more about it. You'll hear this incredible song, and we'll go in depth on how this session and the song are made. Puremix.net showed up with 3 cameras to document it. We showed up with our microphones and music charts. Live drums, real brass, lots of air moving. Stay tuned for more updates and wish the Canton Bluecoats good luck on their 2026 National Drum Corps Competition Tour.
What's good, Mixing Night family? This is Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Mad Mystery with another Mixing Night Mad Mystery moment. And in this Mixing Night Mad Mystery moment, we're going to share a bunch of new free plugins for you and me and us to use. We're going to start with the Angelic Vibes Spread. This is a free stereo widening plugin built for vocals, samples, melodies, bass drums, and anything that needs more width. Check that out. Then we have the X Audio Store Break, Repeat, Freeze, Free Glitch, Beat, Repeat, Freeze plugin from X Audio. Check that one out. Then we have the Delay Light from Fractal, a free delay and a first look at delay. Simple free delay, pick a preset, set, mix, and wash. Done. A free delay plugin. Then we have Parish Audio, a free de-esser, the S1 de-esser. Check out Parish Audio de-esser. Then we have another delay from our friends over at MKS Mixing, the Delay U42, the iconic studio rack delay refined for modern workflows. It's now a free plugin for our DAWs. Then we have Cog Plasmatic, which is a free effects plugin that transforms our audio with a chain of metallic processing. Check out Cog from Plasmatic. Then we have the Clap. A lot of times you don't want the Clap, but in this case you might want it. This is Low End Candy, the Clap Crowd Clap Synthesizer. Check out the Clap from Low End Candy. Then we have Golden SP Shatter Clip, which is a high-performance, zero-latency visual clipper that pushes your drums, buses, and full mixes to professional loudness. Check out the Shatter Clip. Then we have Double Dare, which is more than just a great show. This is from Canvas Audio. This is twice the vocal with half the effort. There is a free version you can get. There's also a 14-day trial of the premium version that you can check out for Double Dare. Check out Double Dare. And then we have Groove 60 from Push and Groove. This is a classic drum machine, non-destructive MIDI timing simulator that brings 96 PPQ and timing correct swing and all that stuff into our drum programming. Next, we have Shin Ronin from Audio Damage. I started working with them on iOS years ago. Now we have Shin Ronin, which is a free modular filter delay, so definitely check that out. Then we have Instant from Terminal VST. This is a free drum plugin. It loads with a standard pattern running suitable for chosen category. You can choose your categories, then you can browse the samples, you can load your own. You have so much things that you can do within Instant. Next, we have 88 from Morpheus, which is an emulation of the Roland Jupiter 8. Check that out. Then we have Woodstock Audio Waveform Compressor, a free compressor that we can check out. Then we have Annulus from Ericsson Jonas. Annulus is a polyphonic resonator and effects engine built for sound designers, so definitely check that out if you are a sound designer. Then we have Safari Pedals giving away 10,000 Gorilla Drive licenses to the Bedroom Producer blog readers. I will link to this at the end of this segment, so definitely check that out, and you can use this code to get that for free. Then we have Leo Brinar is giving a free course, an orchestral composing for beginners, so you can access that as well. Then we have 510KDE giving us The Womb, which is a bass drum designer, so check out The Womb there for free. Then we have AirG Audio giving us a bundle of free stuff. I can't go into what's in this collection, but definitely check out the AirG Audio collection of free stuff in their bundle there. Then we have the Rust Romance giving us a free saturation VST, driving my head, free saturation for producers who want analog character without obvious distortion, so check that out. And last but not least, one of my favorites that's come out recently is the VRAC Drumify Any Sound. You can load in a sound, you can have your found sounds loaded into this plugin from Beat Surfing, all for free, and it'll generate a whole drum kit from the sound that you put in. So check out Drumify. And of course, all the plugins will be in the plugin list for this month. Shoot me a DM if you want access to this list for free. And last but not least, every July marks a pivotal moment for me and my Mixing Night and Ken Lewis relationship and journey, because it was July of 2020 that Ken reached out and gave me the honor of doing this segment. And for 6 years now, I've been doing this segment for every episode of Mixing Night, something new for you all, and looking forward to continuing this journey. Thank you to Ken, thank you to Mazzy, thank you to Lori, thank you to the whole Mixing Night audio fam over the years, and I appreciate all the support. More on the way, more free plugins. Of course, this is Marcus Manderson with another Mixing Night Manderson moment. Be safe and be well, everyone. All right? All right. Peace.
Thank you, Marcus Manderson, Mixing Night Man of Mystery. He always brings us the absolute best free plugins. Dude is a genius. And he's a fantastic musician and writer. Yeah, 6 years is crazy for this show. Isn't that nuts? We started in 2020, in March 2020. That was our first show. We're over 100 shows in now.
Wow.
So we're going to listen to the difference in sound between, where to go, the EMI 660, the Vari-Mu, and the Smart C1. I might adjust the output volume a little bit on the fly so that we can hear them a little bit more apples to apples. But let's hear it. And by the way, the horns on this were played by Danny Flam. This is the EMI. Okay, so I'm switching. I don't know if you guys can see. I don't know if they're showing my screen. But I'm switching back and forth right now between the Vari-Mu and the 660, and they're both Vari-Mu, so I actually find they sound fairly similar. Let's try again, and I'll shout it out as we're playing. We're going to start with the Vari-Mu and then go to the EMI. This is the EMI. So I think Mark and I are hearing that like the EMI has, it might just be a volume thing, but the EMI feels like it has a little bit more weight to it. And I do find that the Vari-Mu tends to reduce a little bit of the low end, which I usually then compensate with like Pultec Pro Legacy, EQP1A. Exactly. It was, and I'll put the low end back after the compressor has reduced a little bit of it, but that EMI leaves it all there.
I think I hear that input transformer saturation on the
Vari-Mu too that you're talking about. I wonder if that's also like hitting the low end, but like the saturation of the vocal is awesome.
Yeah.
It's definitely so. What must be happening? It's just hitting the transients or tapping the input transformer and just leveling out before the Vari-Mu even does anything.
Yeah.
And the harder you hit the transformer, it's just like, it's a fucking manly. It's just like, well, give me more.
Yeah.
So, I just found that slamming the input until you get a certain gain reduction on the output with these settings just sounds like the glue I've always wanted.
That's right.
But the EMI sounds really dope too.
Can we hear that AD again?
Yeah. And then we'll do the Smart, which is a totally different style compressor the SSL is. I'm going to start with the EMI. This is no compression. This is with the EMI. And this is the Vari-Mu. And this is the Smart. The Smart is like, we're listening to the SSL now, and there's like a lot more attack on the drums, but you can really feel the release of the drums and the pump of the music, but it's like, it's got an aggression to it. And I think, you know, with different, what we're listening for is how different style compression changes the feel of your song, because ultimately that's what you need to know. You need to know, well, if I choose this compressor, it's going to give me this style or this type of a reaction, and if I choose that compressor, it's going to be that style. And then you choose you know, where you're at in your mix and what you're trying to accomplish, and then you reach for the piece of gear that complements that. At least that's what I do. I don't know what you do, but that's what I do.
Nothing like what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds way better. I've actually, and shut me up if we have to keep moving, but this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and that is, you know, simply that when we're manipulating time constants with compression, and really, you know, with anything, with reverbs too, time-based stuff, but with compression specifically, you know, if you think about if we're changing the release time or the decay time of things, we're changing the sustain time of things, and therefore we're changing the note value, which means now we're like, that is the effect of, you know, we're manipulating the performance and which one's going to work better with your music and all that, but it actually comes back to musical values.
Right. And well, like, I know like some people will try and time their like compression release to like the tempo of the song or crazy shit. I've never tried to do that. Yeah. But I know some people do. But like with the, you can't do that with the Vari-Mu, because the Vari-Mu is like 7 seconds. It just sits there pinned down. Yeah. And I still don't really understand the concept of why that sounds so freaking good, but it does. Ben Ellery asks, as a side note, hey Ken, did you sing the lows on Alan the Bee? Why, Benjamin Ellery, I sang most of the backgrounds on it.
Hey, cool.
I sang, you guys.
Good to hear.
So, Mixing Night community, if y'all didn't know, you have heard my voice on so many records that you had no idea it was me. Most of the OGs already know, but like the Chipmunk chants on Power. Hey, hey, hey. That's me and Alvin Fields. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. You didn't? No shit. Yeah, I'm also I chanted on Lost in the World on that album, and I chanted on All of the Lights, in addition to doing the producing the horn sections. And yeah, I've been on a bunch of Kanye records singing. I sang on the College Dropout. Here's to the rock. Here's to Rockefeller, on Last Call, on the last song on the album. Wow. And then there was Family Business on the College Dropout. I Am the Old Southern Black Man on Family Business. All that glitters is not gold. All gold is not reality. That voice is me. Yes.
I'm fine. I'm just sitting next to that guy. That's cool. Everything's fine here.
I also sang on Never Let Me Down on that album. When it comes to being true, at least true to me, one thing I found, I know you never let me down. I'm the sample.
That is awesome.
Yes, that's me and Brent Colatalo that performed the entire sped up sample on that, and that's me singing.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done some things. I'm also the very first voice that you hear on Jay-Z's Blueprint 2. And I'm almost the first voice you hear on Lana Del Rey's Born to Die.
I'll just see myself out. Fine. It's fine.
But yeah, since Ben asked, I will play some of these backgrounds, and you can hear them. Yeah, most of the time when I'm creating, I just don't wait for other people to do if I have an idea, it's, voice noted into my phone, and then so I don't forget it. And then if it's important enough, or if I'm in actual songwriting or creation mode and I need to, I'll just set up the vocal mic and fire up and so I'll put down like a scratch vocal. But like when Anushka and I wrote this, I'll put down the scratch vocal because I know exactly how I want that melody to go precisely. And I'm going to sing a really crap-ass guide vocal, but it's going to guide her in a way that she's going to know, like, oh, this is what he meant. So she'll have that to, like, learn what we just wrote and make sure that all the melodies are locked in and all of the inflections are locked in. And then, once she knows it, then we'll cut it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So...
I saw totally off topic. Well, not
totally off topic, but somebody asked about using the high pass on the side chain of.
Always. Literally always. Yeah, there's it's called SC filter. And like if you're using the UAD Manley Vari-Mu, which is very good, it has the SC sidechain filter as well. And what that does is it rolls off everything to the detector below 100 hertz. Mm-hmm. So what that means is the signal passing through the Vari-Mu is still full range. It's not filtering any of the actual signal, but the signal that it's feeding into its own compression detector is now nothing below 100 hertz is being fed into that compression detector. So that makes, because the sub frequencies below 100 hertz really push RMS and compression much harder than anything else. So if you eliminate those, you have typically much smoother compression, and that's kind of a super secret on the mix bus. One of the ways to get much smoother compression is to use a compressor that has a sidechain filter that you can roll off. What's another one that's...
you had that on when you were doing the AB, right?
I believe so. I don't know if this has it.
They were asking about
I don't know if this has the sidechain filter. This is not my Vari-Mu. This is Nolan's. So, I don't know. Nolan might not have the sidechain filter and the T-bar. But it still sounds fucking badass.
It does have the sidechain. It does not have the T-bar. I'm not as cool as yours.
I just want everybody to know that they took away my walkie-talkie, so I can't put it against the microphone anymore.
So, but anyway, Kev J asks, "Hey Ken, what do you miss most about mixing on the big SSL consoles?" I miss mixing on the big SSL consoles. I mean, it was fun sitting behind a big, gigantic, 15-foot long, 96 channel, 112 channel console and mixing a record. And, you know, I'd have my main pair of speakers on the left side of the console, and I'd have a second pair of stereo speakers on the right side of the console so that I could move my chair back and forth if I needed to work on, like, background vocals or anything that was, like, over on the right side, orchestral instruments, whatever it was. I could switch speakers, roll over, and I'd still be in center. Because digital, you're used to always being in the center of the speakers. It was never like that in analog land. Those big consoles, you know, you got to adjust things, and you take yourself out of the middle. And that was another thing when digital consoles came along. The first was the Neve Capricorn, then the Oxford something. Sony Oxford is what it was. It was the first time where you could sit in the middle and bring the sounds to you. And I loved those consoles. And I remember even on the early Sony, or not, the Neve Capricorn, there was one at Chung King Studio C in New York City. And they had Pultecs in that room too, EQP1As. And I was mixing a song for, I don't know who, maybe Wyclef. And I put a Pultec on the kick. And I was like, this sounds fucking good. Okay. And I was like, I wonder if I can match it with the Capricorn EQ. And it took me about 1 minute. So the way that I check my ABs is, you know, wherever the button is, and I do this when I comp all the time. If I don't know which of the two I want, I'll just close my eyes and I'll and I don't know which one it is, and then I'll listen. Okay, this one, and then 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 this one. Okay, this one's better. Which one is this? And so that your eyes do not tell you, your ears tell you. So.
Do that with plug-in bypass, and then you accidentally move the mouse and you're just clicking off in space, and you're like, yeah, this one's definitely better.
I've never done that. I've never done that in the history of.
You can imagine what it'd be like.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen other people do that, but never me, ever, not once.
Also,
congrats to the people winning awesome, cool prizes tonight. Check out that UVI Rumble. I've started using that bass synth. It is, it's so good.
Nice.
Let's see. Should we just use some analog on this? Why not? Why don't we?
I have one more stereo bus thing that I think is interesting.
Hit me.
That I'd like to see you roast live.
Yes, please.
So
I brought these Pope back EQs. And they have some transformers in them and stuff. And what I like about them isn't necessarily even the EQ about them. I like just putting them in for the little cushions.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the EMI. I'm gonna go with the EMI 660. I think that's a really interesting sounding bus compressor on this particular song. You know, I don't need like this super punchy hit you in the chest kick. And this, I feel like this is leveling things out in a nice way, very similar to what the Vari-Mu does. And incidentally, we have the, I don't know if you guys can see, but we have the time constant on the EMIs on 5. So that's whatever that is, which is pretty slow. And again, that's a Vari-Mu compressor, and so is the Manley. So they should be kind of similar. But we're going to go with the backs. How do we add the backs in here? This is processor 1 and 2. Jonathan, I need the backs stereo. Oh, did you have a stereo version of this? Oh, hey. Let's see, EQ after compressor. Let's see if this is actually in stereo now.
And those guys are stepped, I think, in half dB.
Are they flat right now?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay, and we're dealing with these two in case you guys at home want to see them. Let's get...
Pope Audio. What does back stand for?
Baxendall curve?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Never heard that in my life. The
back right there.
Baxendall curve?
Yeah.
Not once. Not once. You learn new shit all the time in audio land.
I made it up. Tell him I made it up.
That would not. I mean, that would totally surprise me.
Right.
You no.
I wouldn't do that.
Let's see. The Bax EQs. I want to make sure. Because see, I have a Pultec Pro Legacy on my mix bus. If you can show the screen. This is almost always on my mix bus. The Pultec Pro Legacy. I fucking love this thing, and it's like I tell people it's the only certainly plug-in EQ I've ever heard in my own experience that when people call things 3D and three-dimensional, I'm like, bullshit dimensional. And then I grab this thing and I'm like, oh, well, okay. And basically, like, what it does, it's more noticeable on the top part, the EQP, the MEQ5. Those upper and lower mid bands will pull elements in and out of your mix that you didn't even really know were there, and in a very musical way. So a lot of times when I'm, I'll just show you. So when I'm EQing my mix bus, I'm just going to go from scratch, and you guys can just watch me EQ. Actually, let's check out the backs first. I can get with those. Damn, those are nice. Shit. Yeah, those are the Pope Audio Bax EQs. It's just a low and a high. Do you know where the curves are on those?
No, I'll look it up actually while we're chilling here. I want to say bottom's at 100, but
it's probably 110K. Would be my just off the cuff guess. But it's it's a low frequency shelf and a high frequency shelf. So if you don't know what a shelf is an equalizer that takes. So a low frequency shelf would take whatever your frequency is. Say it's 300 hertz. And it would take everything below 300 hertz up or down evenly all the way to 0 hertz, and then it would slope down or back up to null over several hundred hertz. So it would still be affecting a little bit at like 500, 600, but mainly it would just be rising and lowering above or below the threshold. So that's what a shelf does, if you didn't know.
This would be fun to hear, basically your Pultec trick with those in the Vari-Mu.
Pultec. I'm sure I could pull interesting stuff with the Pultec out. Let's try it. Let's keep the backs on and see what the Pultec does on top of it. on the hoo 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 at 500, those backgrounds just come to life.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm always listening through these different frequency bands, and I do the same thing on the lows and highs. Typical low frequency, I'll listen to 60 and 100. I usually don't listen to 30 unless I've got like a deep 808 and I just want a little bit more of it, But this is low and high shelf. Is this a shelf? I think this is a bell. I think that's a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low shelf and a high bell. But, when I was young, there was, you'd be in SSL and Neve rooms, and there would always be a pair of Pultecs in the room. Mm-hmm. And there would also be like a GML mastering EQ and like some fancy high-end equalizer with a bunch of knobs. And young me would look at these Pultecs, and I'd be like, why does anybody use this stuff? I mean, you got no control at all. Mm-hmm. And then I started seeing like the top engineers using it and listening to how they were using it. And I was like, oh, this shit is just so musical. The Pultecs are so musical, and that's why they're tone shapers. Mm-hmm. And they just take what you have and they give you more choices of frequencies to bring out of it. Mm-hmm. And when you have something like a GML, it's much more surgical. You can do more with it, but you can't necessarily do the same things with it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah. So, yeah, let me play a little bit more with this, but this is fun. It's incredible that one plugin does that. I mean, goddamn, I know it's analog night, but if we had Pultecs here, they would do the same thing. But hats off to the Pope too, because I mean, it's just as much of a difference. Let me bypass the Pope with the Pultec on, so it's a fair fight. Those Popes are so nice on. I thought I'd like them more on the high end, but the low end on those is so rich. It's really, really good. I like those.
A fun thing about watching you with some of this gear that I use, you're ferocious with it.
Oh God, yeah.
Like you're pushing it a lot more than I do. Like I'm like, oh man, maybe I need to stop being a pansy.
Well, I want to, I want to hear what the gear does.
Yeah.
And I want to hear what the music is. Not, I'll take that back. I don't want to hear what the gear does. I want to hear what the music does reacting to the gear. I'm not listening to the gear. I'm listening to the music.
Right.
And when I hear something happen in the music that I'm like, oh, yes, then the gear stays. Yeah. Or the fishing gets more focused, or the... something like that, where it's, it's kind of from a broad to a surgical to start. But, yeah.
That's a gem right there, though. I'm not listening. I mean, it sounds obvious, right? But I'm not listening to the gear. I'm listening to the music.
Yeah.
And that gets overlooked so many times. I mean, especially when you're doing something
nerdy like this. Let's just get all of our stuff together.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like looking at the screen. When you're at the rack using the analog gear and your focus is looking at the gear and focusing on the gear while you're turning the gear, you're doing it wrong. Mm-hmm. The focus needs to be on the music coming out of the speakers and reacting to the music coming out of the speakers, and the gear is just your conduit to trying to find ways to enhance the song that you're, trying to work on. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why, like, I really want to hear what it does. So I'm like, oh, okay, that frequency is harsh. I don't, I like it opening up, but not too much. Like, a little bit's nice. And then, like with the Pultex, they give you these really defined choices, which I always used to feel were limiting, and now I feel are musical. And when you kind of get past the, like, I learned all the technical stuff, and now I can tuck that away in my brain, and I can just stay in kind of a creative flow state and not think about the gear. I like gear that's super simple, and Pultex are about as simple as it can get. And I just don't like thinking when I'm working. I like connecting with the music. So any gear that like, especially Jonathan and Nolan know this so well, any new gear or any new plug-in that comes in here, if it's got too many buttons, it's just a hard no.
Yeah.
It's a hard no. And for just a quick sidetrack, I design plugins for my Mixing Night Audio with the exact same philosophy. If you look at, here we go. So I'm just going to show you Cascade on instantiation. This is my delay plugin with Mixing Night Audio. So this is how it instantiates. When you see this, every single thing that you want to have control over is right in front of you and nothing else.
Right.
You don't have to guess at what this does. You don't have to guess at what the controls are or where they are. It's just you can turn your brain off and use this very easily, and it all makes total sense. And then if you want a superpower, you can open the advanced, and you have ducking built into the delay. You have a formant built into the delay. You have an LFO, which does the craziest shit. I had no idea. This was all Dominic's. Dominic built the LFO. He's brilliant.
Awesome.
It's so good. And then swing. And then we built this randomizer. If you have Cascade and you haven't used the randomizer, oh, you are so missing out. Almost always now, when my first use of Cascade when I put it on a session is, say, like, I'll take a lead vocal and I'll take a 4 8-bar loop of like a verse, and I'll just feed some signal from the lead vocal into Cascade on say on a aux, and I'll put the mix to 100, and I'll open up the advanced panel so that I can see see what I'm hearing. And then you click the randomizer, and it just gives you a completely different set of parameters, and you do it again, and it's a completely different set of parameters. And about every 4th to 7th click is going to put your jaw on the floor. You're just going to hear something that you're like, in 10 million years of playing, I would have never come up with that sound, and that sound sounds so dope in my song. And I have done this so many times now that it's just mind-blowing how cool the randomizer is. And again, I think, was this a Marcus Manderson suggestion? I feel like this was a Marcus suggestion or somebody, and I didn't really put much stock in it at first. I was like, Dominic wanted to try it, and anything Dom wants to try, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, yeah, we need a randomizer. And then I tried it, and I was like, oh, I get it. I totally get it. It's turn your brain off and click until you hear magic.
Right.
That's the randomizer. Turn your brain off, click until you hear magic. And it happens so many times to me, and I'm just like, how does this... And the other cool thing about the randomizer is you learn what the plugin is capable of doing. So after you hear something, you can kind of dissect it and go like, oh, shit, that's why it's happening like this. Like, so just a quick, for instance, Cascade mode... this is not Cascade mode. This is Cascade mode. Cascade mode switches from like regular feedback taps to a specific number of repeats.
That's awesome.
Between 1 and 16. And you can do ping pong or regular straight echoes at 16, however you want to set it up.
but you define the number of repeats in Cascade mode, and you have all of these extra functions. The other cheat code with Cascade is pink slider right is more effect over time. Pink slider left is less effect over time. So if I have 16 repeats, and I've got those repeats feeding into a distortion, and I've got the pink slider all the way right, it's going to start with less distortion than it ends with. So repeat 1 is going to have significantly less distortion than repeat 16. If I move that pink slider all the way to the left, then the most distortion I'm going to hear is on the first repeat, and it's going to lessen over the course of the next 16.
That's really cool.
And you can set it up so that you can have all 16 at the same exact volume, or decaying naturally, or however you want to. It's so easy to set up. It's ridiculous. So we built like the easiest thing to use straight out the gate, and then made it the most horsepower heavy, like insane. I can't even believe this thing does the thing that it's really insane. The other cool thing that I wanted to talk about before we get back to analog gear is my boys BTS. So I did a Instagram post recently that blew up. I had no idea. But the BTS army is for real. So I was in the checkout line at CVS picking up a prescription, and they had the Time Magazine BTS Special Edition. And I was like, well, I bought the Taylor Special Edition, so I want to see the BTS one too. The Taylor Swift Time Magazine Special Edition was dope. So I bought this one, and then there's like 4 really meaningful things in here. I did a post about 2 of them. The first one is this. BTS spoke at the United Nations General Assembly. The General Assembly is all of the ambassadors from all of the countries around the world, and BTS addressed all of the ambassadors. And RM, the leader of BTS, was the one who addressed the General Assembly. The next day, RM is at my studio cutting vocals and finishing up mixes on his mono EP, which I love. Oh God, I love that album so much. There's a song I still listen to regular called I Love You Soul. So good. But anyway, the next day, he addresses the UN. The next day he's at my house finishing up mono for the next 2 days. And then like a day or 2 later, we're at Newark Arena seeing them at a BTS concert. And I'd never seen a BTS. I've only seen one. That was it. And I'm sitting right next to P-Dog, who's the main Big Hit producer. And me and Lori are there. And we had the 3 best seats in the house. And I could not believe that all of the girls, there was like preteens to teen girls with their parents. The screaming between songs was louder than the PA during the songs. It is easily the loudest crowd I've ever been in my entire life at any concert ever. I could not believe it. And I was blown away seeing American girls sing all of the Korean lyrics in real time. Like they clearly knew them. I was like, this is the most amazing. Everything clicked for me at BTS in that moment. So the other cool BTS thing was, here's Hitman Bang. So this is the founder of Big Hit Records. Big Hit merged into Hive. Is it Hive or Hebe? I don't know.
Don't know.
So Hitman and P-Dog and why can't I remember the third guy's name? Super cool dude. The 3 of them came over to mix the Dark and Wild album. So they came over to mix with me, and my most distinct memory of that was Hitman sitting right on that red couch in Jersey and saying, BTS is going to be the biggest artist in the world. And at the time, this is maybe 2011 or 12? I think 2012. I had been working with Kanye for a decade.
Yeah.
And I had seen many artists make enormous statements and back them up. And I was like, I would never discount an artist's vision. I've just seen it too many times where the only person in the world who could have accomplished that was that guy or that girl. But that was like momentum shifting for the world, and Kanye is one of those guys. So
Wow.
Anyway, Hitman is obviously
awesome.
one of those guys. He called it. And then by 2019, this is 2012, by 2019, BTS was the #1 touring artist in the entire world. Unbelievable. And then we have, here is, BTS has 13, is it? So I've worked on 13 of the BTS albums and 6 BTS solo albums. And a few of the songs that I've worked on have not been on any albums. I've mixed 50 songs for them across 19 albums.
Wow.
And the bunch of them are right here. And then the last fun thing was the 10 most underrated BTS songs. I've mixed 3 of the 10 most underrated BTS songs. My favorite probably being BTS Cypher Part 3 Killer on Dark and Wild. That's such a good song. I also mixed Spinebreaker on School Love Affair, and I mixed C Love Yourself Her. C is also called Ocean. You can find it only on YouTube. You can't find it on streaming. But if you go to it, just Google C BTS or Ocean BTS. It's one of them. It might be my favorite BTS song I ever mixed. It's so beautiful. I can't believe they made it a hidden track. So,
Wow.
but it's like fans fucking know that song. And I'm like, yeah, I mixed that. They're like, oh my. I'm like, oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was only my favorite, but yeah.
I just want to play this back in my head to make a visual of it. You went to CVS to get some stuff, and I'm sure that on the speakers you have Kanye playing with your background vocals happening, and then
Might have been Uptown Funk. I don't know.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, it could have been Uptown Funk, that other small song, and then you just pick up a BTS thing. That's cool.
I have a strange life. I have a really, really, really strange life. I mean, it's mostly lived inside of a recording studio, which is why I get to lead such a strange life.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
but
That's amazing. No, congrats.
yeah, isn't that was the most wild experience. And I really didn't I post stuff up on, Instagram all the time, and nothing, I might get 100 thing here. That got, last time I checked, was like at 12,000. And I was like, what is even happening right now? It's just, things get into BTS Army circulation, and those fans are real, man. Wow. But I also, I got to go back to thinking about Dark and Wild. Let me show you.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the BTS's first album, Dark and Wild. They signed it for me. But the impressive thing about this is the packaging. You open this up and it folds out in a super cool way to begin with. And then you've got this massive booklet. This is their first album.
This is wild.
Yeah, it's Dark and Wild. So this is their first album, and it's like a complete booklet of, has to be at least 100 lyrics,
Wow.
pictures, images, and you can tell these are all handwritten, so it's straight from the guy, and they're all writers. They write their own shit. They're really freaking talented.
Is this a deluxe or a reissue?
No, I don't know. They sent it to me, so I don't really.
Yeah.
But
That's so cool.
and then it's like this whole fan experience.
Yeah.
And then the whole CD comes in like that, and you're like, oh, so they focused on fan building from day one.
Yeah.
And every time I ever talk to a new up and coming artist, and they're always like, how do I? It's fan building. It's writing great songs and being able to perform them live, especially in the world of AI now more so than ever. You've got to be able to perform live. Even if it's only live on your socials, you got to be able to perform live. What was the other thing I was going to say? Can't remember. It was about independent artists being...
And this whole thing is an experience, so
Yeah.
it's an experience for sure.
Just the way they came out the gate going like, we already know, like, you don't have to tell us, we're going to tell you, you're going to fucking love this group. And also when I posted that up, I posted that this and that on the thing, and I had so many comments on the thread that were like, Dark and Wild is the best BTS album. And I was just like, oh my God, I had no idea that album resonated with the Army that way.
Yeah.
And, it's like, you're, saying about like my resume and shit. I don't think about that stuff.
Right.
I think about what my next record is going to be.
Yeah.
And because there's two things with this industry. Survival is a big thing in this industry. And it's not easy to fucking survive in this industry. I work my ass off and I'm not rich, and I wish I was. Maybe one day I'll catch it, but so far doing well, not rich. Tangents.
Rich in our minds.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
a rich life. I mean.
Well, that's the thing. Because I have basically sacrificed my 20s and most of my 30s doing other people's records and other people's sessions, I have been able to make a shift in my career towards primarily what I want to do.
Yeah.
And even though it's not like every session I get is something that I want to do, but I am thankful that I get every session that I get, because the sessions that I'm just doing to pay the bills so that I can focus on producing Anushka and the Bluecoats and things like that. And so you need kind of a balance of, I would love it if creative paid 100% of my bills. But right now it only pays a good chunk of them.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Still good.
Valery's trying to keep us on task. He says 15-minute warning on the time, but he's here till midnight.
What else? What were we supposed to do? Let's, I want to show you guys some equalizers. Let's show you guys some cool analog shit. I'm going to EQ Anushka's vocal with the GML. If you all don't know, George Massenburg co-invented parametric equalization along with Burgess McNeil, who founded Sontec. Let's see, that's Wolf 3. Wolf 3. Oh, that's I'm gonna have to do that earlier in the chain, aren't I? Wolf 3. Okay.
This is you're back, you're just like me. I started small and chased a dream. You're fearless, rise and take a leap of faith. This year it's time for you to elevate. Girl, where you are is not where you will be. Dream big with me. Got this girl, you're all you need. But when you're low, listen to me. I got your back, you're just like me. I started small and chased a dream. You're fearless, rise and take a leap of faith. This year it's time for you to elevate. Girl, where you are is not where you will be. Dream big with me. Got this girl, you're all you need. But when you're low, listen to me. I got your back, you're just like me. I started small and chased a dream. You're fearless, rise and take a leap of faith. This year it's time for you to elevate. Girl, where you are is not where you will be. Dream big with me. Got this girl, you're all you need. But when you're low, listen to me. I got your back, you're just like me. I started small and chased a dream. You're fearless, rise and take a leap of faith. This year it's time for you to elevate. Girl, where you are is not where you will be. Dream big with me.
That GML is just so smooth and musical. And, I don't look at the numbers. I just search. I keep the boost most of the way or all the way up, depending on kind of the vocal. And then I just kind of sweep aimlessly, and I just try and just ask myself, like, what brings out more of the character of the vocal, if anything? Because sometimes you want to boost something because you just want to EQ something. And sometimes you're like, yep, it's a big note across the whole thing. I've got it. But in this case, I was like, okay, like right around 3K, I found that there was just like this character that kind of opened up her voice a little bit. So I left like a nice boost there, and then I opened up the Q a little bit. And then I found kind of like a lower mid, lower part of the enunciation range. Maybe I think felt like, where is it? Oh, that's like 1K. Yeah, +3 at 1K, +6 at 3.5, +9 at 22K shelf, and +6 at 100 hertz. So I'm warming it up, and I'm bringing out the enunciation in 2 different places, and then I'm really opening up the air. Mm-hmm. And you barely hear, but it's just like, it's just gives a little bit extra sparkle. But you've got to be super careful about that, because if your S's are ripping your head off and you open up the air on it, you're going to just boost the hell out of the S's, and it's going to be super painful, and you don't want that smoke. Let's see, what else can we show our awesome viewers? I wanted to show this Clariphonic, because most people don't really know the Clariphonic. The Clariphonic is a tone control, which doesn't really sound all that big of a deal until you hear it, and you're like, oh, that's what the Clariphonic is. Except it's mono, and I need to find a mono source, which might be my undoing. I could do Zach.
That's the question while you're doing that.
Hit me.
Do you when you're using this while you're mixing,
Mm-hmm.
how early do you commit, and do you care about recall?
I commit at the end of my mix.
Yeah.
So I'll leave everything at the end of my main mix.
Mm-hmm.
So once I print my main final that goes off to my client, before revisions, I'll commit my analog gear so that the recall has the analog processing baked in.
Right.
And then you don't have to recall with the analog. You can just recall the baked in.
Yeah.
And do you worry about like the settings of that thing, or recall sheets that in case?
Sometimes it's just grab your phone and scan it.
Yeah.
And make sure that you have all of the settings notated and you can get back to it. Because analog gear has always been, unless it's stepped pots, which is rare, it's always been a little bit of like, looks like where it is. But even a lot of pots are like, one day this is going to be one level, and the next day this level is going to be a different one.
Right.
You know, 1176s and Manleys and stuff are kind of notorious for that. Like, you know, the pot levels will just change.
Yeah. Right.
It's analog.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do the Clariphonic on a lead vocal so you can hear how the high end opens up on this. When Greg from Kush initially built the Clariphonic, he had a prototype that was just in a black metal case. And it was just like a 1 rack space, unremarkable case with kind of unremarkable knobs. But it was the Clariphonic.
Yeah.
And he let me borrow it for like 6 weeks and let me take it to LA to mix for a week.
Nice.
And which was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Here we go, Wolf 9. And at the studio that I was at, I was mixing a song for Flo Rida. I can't remember what it is.
Deal. It's just, you know,
But
Florida.
but I put the Clariphonic up against the Manley Massive Passive on the mix bus.
Yeah.
And just compared the tippy top. And I mean, I love the Manley stuff, but the Clariphonic shits on the Manley as far as opening up the tip top cleanly and open. Oh God, it's such a beautiful top end. Let's hear what it does to this vocal. I've got it. Yes. Okay.
Remember home, embrace the world, and when you fly, go get it, girl. Be anything, be you too.
it just opens things up. It's really beautiful. So if you can't really see at home, you can probably hear just how open the top end of that became. And it's just, the Clariphonic has 4 different, it's a shelf EQ, but it's super low phase shift. And it's just a tone control, but it's so beautiful. And it just opens up that, I have it on the highest like air band right now, and it just opens up the tip top a lot, where there's really not much at all there, but then it slopes down into the 10K, 8K range. So you get a little lift probably starting at like 7 or 8K, and you're getting a decent amount of lift by 12. And, you know, by 18, it's like, boo.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's not much up there. There's no, like, sibilance up there that's hurting me. So I can really crank it up and open that Clariphonic way up. So I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to try, what else do we have? Do we want to try the stay level? Did we hook up the retro?
Yeah.
All right, let's find... Where
I think you put it in as V comp.
That is no.
This is the Audioscape version of the stay level.
Oh, the V comp. V comp.
Where is the V comp? Is it processors? I don't see it. All right, what else? What about the 1176? Where's that? Do I see the 1176? Do not. How about a Distressor? Let's go Distressor. Wolf 7. Distressor made by Dave Durer. Genius, and easily the most important compressor made in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Designed and manufactured would be the Distressor. Has had hands down the most impact on our industry for anything compression wise built in the last 30 years. And incidentally, in software land, when Dom suggested to me that we build a delay plugin, I was like, the world does not need another delay. There must be 40 delays out there. And I was like, you know, Dom's a really smart guy. I should not discount this. Let me go look. So I looked at like 40 different delay GUIs, and I didn't think anybody had cracked it. I was shocked. And I was like, nobody has solved this in like the simplicity to pro shit and ease of use to power. And so we did the delay, why was I telling you that?
We were talking about the stressor. And
Oh yeah. How was I going to tie that into the Distressor? You know, sometimes I just lose my train of thought and it just goes out the frickin' window.
I think you're about to talk about the Distressor plugin.
That's entirely possible.
Incidentally.
I like the Distressor plugin, but if I can get my hands on the real one, I have my real one down in Ecuador. I keep my Distressor, like my purple knob Avalon 737, the original run of 737s that sounded amazing, is down in Ecuador at my studio, and the Distressors in Ecuador at my studio, and the Manley Ref C tube mic is down there. My studio down there fucking rocks. It's so good. All right, what can we throw in that I can't find these things? Jonathan, I don't know where these.
I see Empirical Labs Distressor on there. Empirical
Okay.
Labs Distressor 1.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Distressor. Yeah, we had a bead on that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or I guess I could just pull it into like.
It's in the.
It's in this Wolf 7. So
Okay.
I want to do that on. Sure, let's do it on a vocal. Why not? So you can see this vocal. I did record it with a touch of compression, but it's pretty dynamic. And I'm gonna throw Wolf 7 on it. Wolf 7. I'm gonna move these down.
Right Sounds is helping out with the research tonight.
He says the shimmer on the Clariphonic is at 18K and the silk is 34K and up.
Hey, thank you. See, 34K and up, and it still makes that difference.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's because the shelf, it's the peak of it is 34K, but the shelf slopes down into the audible range.
Multiple octaves down. Yeah.
Woo, hey. Oh, that sounds loud. Distressor. Whoa. I'm not sure that that's... Oh, let's find out.
This Act just like me. I started small and cheap.
We may not, we just brought the Distressor in tonight. We may not have hooked it up right. Let us find out.
Plug it in work.
This
Jonathan, something happened with the wolf. I'm going to abandon that because we're at the end of the show, and we're just going to chat it up a little bit. What else did we... congrats to the winners tonight. Whoever won that Rumble bass, man, enjoy that. And the Session Studio, when I was producing Coburn's album, that was the software that both her and I used on both ends. You can use it to organize your songwriting, your lyrics, but what I found most valuable as a creative was you can upload like waves or voice notes or MP3s or whatever kind of in series, and so you have kind of like a running record of the song. So you can upload your original voice notes and then your day one demo and then your tracking rough,
Cool.
your vocal day, your drums day, and then your rough mix, and then your final mix, and your Rev 1 revision of your final, and your Rev 2 of your final. And you can have a running series, and all of the creatives that you need to have access to that can have full access to that. And then everybody's rights who wrote on that, you can catalog all of their rights, so that when you release the song, everybody's rights are taken care of. Everybody knows who gets what. It's super. Session Studio,
Yeah.
definitely. It's super dope. Did we not run the Green Room Cincinnati? Fuck. Nolan, I'm so sorry. Somebody needs to remind me of this shit. Let's run the Green Room Cincinnati teaser. It's only like a minute and a half, and then we'll come back and wrap up with some analog thoughts and send you off on your way.
Everybody has the story of starting out in your parents' basement, right? Like, set up a computer, get some sound baffles, saying that you're doing it.
The space we're currently in came out of luck, I will have to say.
We found one facility that was looking like it could be something.
I'd reached out to the listing agent, Chris Swain. He messaged us saying, I'm going to show you the recording studio we have here. I immediately screenshotted the message and texted Nolan, and I'm like, is this for real?
And my jaw just hits the floor. Like, the walls are 2.5 feet thick.
I think people started getting the same light in their eyes that we did. We escorted them through the facility and walked them down our long hallway coming in. This feels like you're stepping into a space you want to create.
My dream is to get to spend every day waking up, coming to work with people that want to be here.
Hey. I also wanted to mention, did you go to Mixnick last year?
No.
So Wavy Wayne, friend of mine and friend of the show, puts on an event down in Atlanta. I think last year was the second year. This will be his third year. July 24 and 25 in Atlanta. I think at SAE Atlanta. Wavy is hosting Mixnick, and I am doing master class there, doing clinics. I think I'll do a panel or two. Nice. And I'm also going to have our Mixing Night Audio room where I'm going to be showing off all of our Mixing Night Audio plugins. So if you don't got them yet, drop in. I'm going to show you some amazing stuff with them. And if you ever want to check out the Mixing Night Audio stuff, our plugins are full 14-day working trials. So like I always like to say, you need one session to know. If you use my plugin one time, you will know if it's right for you or not. And, it's not going to be right for everybody, but the people that connect with it are just like, dude, you need to make more. I'm like, right. I am. Yeah. We've got a great one in the works. It's coming up. Let's see. What else is going on? So, yeah, Mixnick, July 24, 25. And Jonathan was down there doing panels. Jonathan Garcia was doing panels last year. I think he's doing Atmos panels this year again. Yeah, and, I asked Jonathan last year, I was like, what did you think of Mixnick? And he was like, better than AES, better than NAM. And I was like, fuck. And I think it's the better than NAM is like it's smaller and more focused with cooler people and fewer distractions and less like carnival circus. Right. It's just like a really good bunch of people. So I'm really looking forward to Mixnick. If you're there, come say hello to me and check out the Mixing Night plugins. How's everything with Puremix?
Man, it's good. We've been putting out new courses on campus.audio.
That's like our course platform, separate from kind of individual one-off videos that we have on Puremix. And we have a course with Michael Brower coming out. I want to say...
Yes, please.
It might... The 15th, I want to say it's coming out. And we have like an info session with him, so he's going to come on and talk about the course and all that. That's free to hang at.
I love Michael Brower.
Check that out.
He's great.
We've been actually doing some fun stuff on Puremix where we've been kind of tying in the creation stuff a little bit more than just like singular focus on mixing. So we just had a video come out last week where we were supposed to shoot a bunch of different stuff one day. And I had just been thinking about this a lot. Like, people are here because they're creating music and maybe they're frustrated with how it sounds in their car and they want to be mixing. But it's like, they're here because they want to create music. Let's show them how people create music. So I locked Fab in a room with a camera and said, you're writing music today and we're not shooting any of this other stuff. And he graciously let me try. And it's going pretty well. That came out last week. So you can see Fab built the track from scratch. So
that's awesome. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about you and how to get you to do that. So chat, help me out and talk Ken into doing a creation on camera.
That the tough thing is the awareness of the camera.
Yeah.
And how it changes the creation process. And for me, like, I could do it just by myself, and because I could understand the setting, and I've taught for decades. So I think I could do it by myself just fine, and I could create some dope shit. But I would never want to do that with another artist unless it was specifically for that. Because again, like, for me, when you're with the artist, every single thing that you do is to put them in their zone and to keep them in their vibe so that you can get the most inspired performance out of them. So I try to give them as little information that they don't need as possible, and let them know that the mistakes don't matter, and then you just get these performances that are just magical. And then comp like crazy. And then when you get a performance especially when the vocalist has made a lot of mistakes and they don't think they've sung well, and you have incredible takes,
and then you send them away and you comp it all and you find all of the magic and you put it all together into one single vocal comp, and then you bring them back in and play. I've had people straight up bawl their eyes out so many times playing vocal comps because it's the best they've ever heard themselves in their entire life, and they can't believe it's them. But it's just the best moments of like 12 or 15 or 20 performances. You know, the one time they got it the best in each of those moments is what I found and put it together, and then they hear it and they're like, that's me? Yeah, that's you. You did that. Now learn it so you can sing it live and build your fan base, and let's do that again on the next record. And one of the buzzes for me as a record maker, like I produced the Coburn album along with George Lever. George did most of the music. I had produced all the vocals, and James Sanger produced on it as well. Brilliant. And so with Coburn, she didn't really have any studio experience, you know, singing, and never had worked with a vocal producer to my knowledge. And so, you know, I knew it was going to be an evolution of bringing her out and, you know, step by step building her confidence over session after session after session. And I mean, first sessions were great, but what we were getting by the end was, you know, I wouldn't say it was a chore at first. It was hard work at first, and then it became second nature. The techniques she was using, the way she would emote, the way she would express, that was stuff that I really had to coach her on early on in the process. By the final songs, that was just what I got. And that was, oh my God. I mean, so yeah, and then it becomes just like this, like, you know, symbiotic relationship of, you know, oh, we're doing vocals today. We both know what we're getting into. Right. And, you know, and then, yeah, I love vocals. That's my thing.
That's awesome. Very nice.
Oh, Chris Verna says, I tried out Cascade with the RIP to You and Me files. It sounds really good with minimal tweaking. Even the advanced settings are really easy to use and dial in. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I find the same thing, that even the advanced stuff is just like one of my favorites. I'll just drop a little bit of this is the Ken setting for Cascade. Instantiate. So that's not Cascade. The Ken Lewis lead vocal setting for Cascade, when it's just going to be me, is if this is on an aux, ping pong, normal. Ken's vocals, these are style filters. Ken's vocals, advanced, formant down 2. So when you pull the formant down 2, it sounds like take Anushka's voice. It sounds like her older sister is singing the delay taps. It's her voice, but it's her voice just a little bit deeper. And the way that the formant blends with the live voice, and especially with the taps going back and forth, is sounds incredible. And then the other thing that I find a lot is for more subtle stuff, the formant up 4 or 5 seems to be a real sweet spot with like vocal taps that you just want hanging way in the background and a little bit dark. You don't want like the S's going into those taps when the formant is way up, but you want like the sense of them, and the formant just does some super cool things with this. So yeah, play with that. I think we're running super late, but I don't know if there's anything else that I needed to cover, but I'd say this is about it. So we didn't tackle all of the analog that we wanted tonight, but we got to a bunch of fun stuff. And we'll do this again in 6 months or a year or so. And but anyway, Mark Abrams, thank you very much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to see you, like very short amounts of time.
I did just see you a couple weeks ago. It
I
feels
know,
a little close
God,
to each
it's
other.
way too soon, but you know, whatever. So if you guys missed the first time Mark was down for mixing night, we did like this whole frenemies thing, which was absolute gold. So yeah, but
just to give you a picture of it, we were doing a sprint mix off, and the whole time I was doing it, he had his.
We were going to do that to you tonight. We had we had the Guy Fawkes masks waiting to go, the V for Vendetta masks, and we were going to have you start the sprint mix, and then the guys were going to come in with the V Vendetta masks and give me one, and we're all just going to circle around you while you were sprint mixing.
I was going to bring actually my own track tonight, and I started making it last night. I was having Suno make a track that was going to be a diss track to you. And then I was just like, I can't get with Suno enough to do it.
You wouldn't be the first.
I'll bring my own track.
Oh,
you're still doing it.
That's fucking fantastic. Oh, yes. That's what we didn't mark the first.
The breathing. You guys probably can't hear the breathing. The breathing.
Yeah, it's super creepy in here. I would be creeped out. Oh, man. So, yeah, Mark, thank you for joining us tonight. Had a blast.
You know how to make a guy feel welcome.
Well... You know, the V for Vendetta mask. Everybody gets that treatment around here. I mean, you know, it's just welcoming. It's just welcoming, you know. There might be some violence involved. There might not be. Not for me. I wouldn't. Those guys, I can't speak for those.
Send help.
I can't, you know, I mean, if something happens, I just, you know, the cameras are going to shut off soon, and, well...
Still doing it.
He's breathing heavy. It's just, yeah.
Breathing.
I think it's time to close down the broadcast and see if Mark can make it home. So help. On with the purge. You have 24 hours to make it home. All right, everybody. The chat roll has been popping tonight. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. And thank you for tuning in tonight and joining us for our mayhem and adventures.
I'll text you when I get home, J-Rel.
Indeed. If he,
to let you know.
Yes.
Awesome.
And thanks all for joining us. I don't know when the August show is, but September 2nd, we are doing, I don't know if you guys have the banner down there or if you've been showing it tonight. September 2nd is going to be Educators Roundtable. So we did the Pro Mixers Roundtable in May. That went off great. So we're going to do Educators Roundtable on September 2nd. Confirmed, Wavy Wayne's joining me. Prince Charles Alexander from Berkeley is joining me. He and I go back to like 1994 in New York City when he was one of the king mixers of New York City. And I was a young guy just showing up in the scene. And who else we got? Dave Hagen from Dark Horse Institute in Nashville is going to join us. A few other people. It's going to be a really great night and a spirited conversation. So join us September 2nd. First Wednesday in August is going to be the next mixing night. I might do Sync Roundtable. Don't know. If you all have suggestions, drop them in the comments. And leave us a like and subscribe and all of that good stuff. And we will see you in a month.